Hello, dolphin families. Welcome to another edition of Bedtime Stories with Mrs. Moodry. Now, I have Stevie the Sloth here, and he wanted to help introduce our February character trait of the month, which happens to be perseverance. And perseverance means that you keep going on even when something that you think was going to happen doesn't necessarily happen as planned. So the book that we have this week is about a story that tells us that it's okay to keep going when things don't go as we think they will. And instead of feeling sad or giving up, the book shows us that we can try a different way, like taking a left turn when the right turn isn't working. It teaches us to be brave and think of new ideas and find creative solutions when we face a problem. So this week, I'd like to introduce to you When Things Aren't Going Right, Go Left. Let's take a look. When Things Aren't Going Right, Go Left. Written by Mark Cologiovanni. One day, for no particular reason, nothing was going right. Absolutely, positively, nothing was going right. Looks like he's got a lot of troubles here. He doesn't have shoes. He's carrying all these bags. He's got this fragile box on his head, and it's raining. So I decided to go left. The first thing I did, I left behind my worries. Get it? He's turning left, but really he left behind this box of worries. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They looked up at me and wondered, "Where are you going?" But I just smiled and waved goodbye. "Wait," they hollered. "Come back! What will happen to us?" I simply shrugged my shoulders. "You'll be fine." As I walked away, I thought, did I make the right choice? Should I go back and get them? Doubts crept in. So, you know what I did? I left behind my doubts. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They bellowed, "You're making a mistake!" But I just gazed at the sky. They questioned, "Are you sure you're making the right decision?" "Absolutely," I declared. With my worries and doubts left behind, I could finally think clearly. I forged on until I came to a pool and a diving board I remembered all too well. Last time I tried to dive off that diving board, I splatted on my back. Ouch! I remembered the pain and how scared I was. I started thinking, maybe I shouldn't try this again. Can you guess what he's going to do? So, you know what I did? I left behind my fears. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They screamed, "Don't do it!" He's climbing up the ladder. I stood up straight, shoulders back, hands pressed above my head. "Stop!" they cried, but I simply turned and gave them a wink. I leaped. Splat! On my back once again. Ugh, that stings. I thought to myself, this is impossible. It can't be done. So, you know what I did? I left behind my frustrations. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They yelled, "You can't do it!" Again, I stood up straight, shoulders back, hands pressed above my head. They laughed. "Give up already!" I whispered to myself, no way, never. I leaped. Feet together, toes pointed, legs straight. Perfect! I did it! I started to realize the more left I went, the more right I felt. So, you know what I did? Yep, I kept going left. And before I knew it, everything was going right. Get it? He left behind all of the worries and things like that, and then things started feeling right or feeling good. As I walked home, I glanced at the ground and I noticed something that I did not expect. My frustrations were a lot smaller. My fears, a lot quieter. My doubts, a lot calmer. My worries, practically gone. So I decided to pick them back up. And you know what? They felt lighter now, and they weren't so hard to handle anymore. And I realized it's okay to have them with me, so long as I keep an eye on them and make sure that they didn't get too big or too loud or too overwhelming. But if they did, and I felt like nothing was going right again, then I'd simply go left. And then we have a quote here. When life's burdens start to feel too heavy, don't be afraid to put them down for a while. And that, Dolphins, is when things aren't going right, go left. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this story. I think it's got a lot of great different ideas about perseverance, right? The first one is about not giving up. This story reminds us that even though sometimes things might be tough or feel like they're going wrong, it's important to keep trying because every challenge is a chance for us to learn and grow. That also talks about learning from our mistakes. Now, this boy, when he went off the diving board, it didn't go right the first time. He had to go a couple of times before it went right the way that he thought it was going to go. So mistakes are part of our journey, and that's okay. When something doesn't work out, you learn from it, and then you can do better the next time. And also, this story is talking to you about believing in yourself. I believe in you, Dolphins, and I know that together as a team, we can persevere through anything. So, again, I hope you enjoyed that story. When things aren't going right, go left. Sometimes you got to put down the worries, put down the fears, and keep persevering. Thanks for joining me this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week for a new bedtime story.